Hello again, welcome to run 1. We are on the draw. I think we keep this hand. It's got land, it's got removal, it's got Ranger of AS for value. Cloud Goat Ranger. It's potentially a bit slow. This Grizzlebrand is obviously kind of blank, but as it is, we have good colours, we have good cards. I'm happy with that. Happy with this too. Turn 1 Tropical Island. You know you're cubing when. What is my opponent's avatar? That is weird. Turn 2 Sulphur Falls. Wall of Blossoms, sure. It's going to be that sort of game. How long do you reckon it'll take them to get the Woodfall Primus out? Bloodghast! Oh, I should have played my Swamp on turn 1. Oh, I guess... No, I should have played the Swamp on turn 1. Because if I play Swamp turn 1, Plains turn 2... I can still Hallowed Spirit Keeper turn 3. That is assuming I don't draw the Bloodghast. I am a fool. Oh well. It's not as bad as the last video I did where I accidentally clicked Island instead of Swamp and couldn't cast my 2-drop. That's very scary. Apparently that was an uncommon Imperial Recruiter. Although that's a rare symbol. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong card. Would we get Huntmaster of the Fells? I can but weep. Alright. At least Bloodghast can fearlessly attack into it. That I'm happy with. La la la. This board is looking quite scary. Bloodghast, sadly, cannot block. One of my favourite cube moments, I have a screenshot somewhere that is, on my opponent's side of the board there is a Plains. And on my side of the board there is something like 14 mana and a repeatable removal source in Cursed Scroll. This has been Power Cube, obviously. It was like turn 1, I think it was something like Tolarian Academy, Mana Crypt, Signet, Worn Power Stone, Go or something. Yeah, I think that works out. Days in a ramp deck. That's actually very clever. How about the Fiend? This is going extremely well. I think we're about to win. Just you wait. At least we cast a spell, so the Huntmaster didn't flip. Although I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent's turn here was swing for 5, pass. Oh. Will they succumb to the temptation of the flipped Huntmaster? Yup. Well, at least the Bloodghast comes back straight away. Sad thing is, I want to play the Cloud Goat Ranger here, but I also want to hold up this Condemn. But the Cloud Goat Ranger is probably better. Animate Dead is... Nah, probably not good enough. Good old Bloodghast. Too legit to quit. Cloud Goat Ranger, get out there. We can at least threaten some good multi-blocks this way. So hopefully our opponent just kind of won't attack. And maybe we can play... Oh, it's going to be difficult for us to play 2 spells the next turn. Actually, I'm not sure we even want to... No, we don't want to do that. We just want to let the Ravager of the Fells stay as it is so that the opponent doesn't get more and more value. Given that they're playing what I assume is some kind of mid-range deck with large and powerful creatures, I might board in one of the board sweepers. I find they're pretty handy against decks that can outsize you on the board in formats like this. I was going for it. Come at me, Ravager of the Fells. I guess there's probably a trick here. So I don't think we can just not block and go to 8. I have absolutely no idea what tricks are in this format, but whatever it is probably large enough to crush through the extra 2 soldiers. That said, it could just be a bolt on this. Let's go for the basic blocks. I don't think anything the opponent could actually have will will blow out this, but not... Oh wow, they just didn't have anything. That is fantastic. Really? Fine. Time Warp. I've never been a fan of Time Warp effects in Magic. I find playing Magic is fun, and Time Warp effects mean that you cannot play Magic. I mean, I guess the other person gets to play extra Magic to balance it out. Do I chop block this? I don't think so. I mean, if my opponent just wants to kind of swing for a couple of damage and draw a card, that's not too bad. Spellskite. That's fine. Are they going to play around Condemn? Liliana, that's good. That's very good. In fact, yeah, of course that's really good. That gets us Griselbrand now. There's no point attacking with Bloodghast, so let's just prepare the combo music. I hope I don't misclick doing this. Sup? What? Really? That's not a huge problem, but still. Okay. We have not misclicked. There is a Griselbrand on the battlefield. Good times. Let's not do anything else. The real question is, do we go to 3, assuming our opponent doesn't kill it or kill us? In fact, if they kill the Griselbrand, do we go to 3 in response? I think maybe we have to. I mean, if we draw Grey Merchant of Asphodel, we go back up by a lot. But they could just bolt us to death right now. Maybe we should attack with it first. Let's attack with it first. Recurring Nightmare. Hello there. That is very good. Okay. Griselbrand is in the air, swinging 4th. Alright, it is fair to say that we got away with it. So I guess we can draw up and then potentially discard Grey Merchant of Asphodel to hand size. Should we draw it? I think drawing the cards is a good idea. Our opponent didn't kill us last turn, so... Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Alright. Oh, where do we even start with this lot? There's nothing worth discarding, but there's a Buried Alive that we can just cast. In fact, I wonder if our opponent will concede if we do this. Let's get Gary, Gravecrawler, and Metamorph, I think. So Gravecrawler is good recurring nightmare fodder, Gary is Gary, and Metamorph is also Gary. Skinrender doesn't do anything because of Spellskite and the fact that our opponent has a bunch of Toughness 4 creatures. Resto is another option. No, I'm going to go for the Metamorph because it's more flexible. For instance, if Grey Merchant dies, we can use the Baloth as more life gain. And more life gain means less of us dying and more Griselbrand. Okay, so... well, we sack the Bloodghast, obviously. Target Gary. Sack this. Can't block anyway. No, wait, I should have sacked the Soldier for 2 more life gain. Maybe it doesn't matter. Ouch. We can still play land this turn? Wow. Okay. What's the best way to... I'm going to sandbag the Marsh Flats so we can use Bloodghast again later. Let's just do this. Yup. Plus Liliana, I suppose? Might as well. We can discard some land. In fact, we're well ahead on land, so we can just discard that. Oh, fair enough. Okay, well, our opponent now knows our deck. I don't know how much graveyard hit there is in this format. There might be a Grafdigger's Cage or a Relic of Progenitus or something. We saw reasonably large creatures, probably some amount of board flooding in there. So I'm tempted by this Crux of Fate, because if the opponent runs away with a large board state, it can be very difficult for us to come back. Him I think we want. Land tax we probably want, especially as we're going to be on the draw. Turn 1 land tax is just backbreaking. Ranger, our opponent clearly thinks is dangerous enough to daze, so we can at least use it to eat a daze again. That's a thought. Note to self, play around daze in game 2. How long do you reckon it'll be before I forget? Attrition will be good. Servitude will probably be good. Shallow Grave we might be able to do without. I guess if we get a Griselbrand in there early, that's good, but our opponent's deck will probably run us over if we're trying to get cute. So I might cut this and bring in the Crux. At least we won quickly. I mean, so on the one hand, we have no planes. On the other hand, we don't need planes. If we draw a zombie, I guess that is an if. Oh, this is so borderline. We get a Scry for Mulligan nowadays, don't we? I mean, for this hand to be really good, it needs a zombie and our planes. I don't think that's too much. We have 3 other zombies. 8 planes? That's probably fine. We can buy a fair bit of time with what's already there. Let's go for it. That's 11 good cards that we can draw, essentially. That's scary. Irony! Whatever, let's start doing damage. What is this land art from? It's a bit like Time Spiral or something. M15. Temple of Abandon, sure. Go on, swing for 1. Swing for nothing even. No deck. Stop taunting me for my mulligan decision. Or lack thereof. So far so good. So the question is, do we play the attrition on turn 3 or turn 4? Because if we don't draw a 3-drop... Actually, we should play it on turn 4 to play around Diz. Okay, we drew a planes. But I don't know if we even want to cast it, because... Oh yes, no, attrition is not triple black. Let's play the planes. Let's see if our opponent taps out for anything here. There might be some kind of flash creature. Okay. I don't think ousting a Birds of Paradise is a good idea. It's funny though. No, that's bad. Let's save that for when it's actually going to be useful. Fruitpunk Crag coming in tapped. Wow. Our opponent has so many non-basics. You know what I was saying about people taking loads and loads of land in Cube? People take loads and loads of land in Cube. Oh! It's our lucky day. Okay. Do you have a counterspell? Please don't have a counterspell. I want to win. They're thinking about it. They'd have cast it by now if they had something, right? Right? I really hope that what's on the other end of this internet connection is someone sitting at their desk going, "What? That's a card? What?" Just like absolutely panicking, and not somebody going, which counterspell should I use in this situation? No! Well, I guess that tempos, but sure. Pay 1 for days, yes. Extremely carefully click. Hey guys, you know I said to remember to play on days? I remember to play on days! Life is good. Take 2, opponent. This is a bit awkward because there's a tension between casting Grey Merchant of Asphodel next turn, or indeed the Cloudgoat Ranger, and, oh, well, assuming we draw planes, and actually using the attrition to kill something. I guess if our opponent doesn't give us any targets. I mean, they might well just not do anything. No, they're doing something. Okay. I was going to say they might well just not doing anything until they blow it up with a Woodfall Primus. Oh, really? Planeswalkers. Yep. That's not nothing, I have to say. Well, we drew a planes. I guess Cloudgoat Ranger threatens Elspeth, so we should probably just jam it. It's not like we can't just use the attrition next turn. I don't think we're under too much threat from haste creatures. Do we even attack here? No, it's not worth it, because we can play Grey Merchant and hold up attrition next turn. Getting that sweet drain for 5. We're not actually that far off hard casting Griselbrand. 3 more turns, 2 more lands. Not that unlikely. This is so typical of Cube. It's really funny. You look at these cubes and they're full of really powerful cards. But they're often full of really expensive powerful cards. So you do get these games where someone goes turn 1, here's my Monodork, and then just nothing happens. Oh no, that's a tap land, okay. Wow, still no basics. Life is gained. Our opponent is durdling like a champion. Please don't cast spells. Please continue to durdle like a champion. Oh, come on! That's really annoying. Because obviously it puts Elspeth up above. I guess all she can do is gain some more life. I'm kind of okay with my opponent expending a Time Walk to draw a card and gain some life. Not that it's not a good play, but it's not like an incredible play. Although, if they have a land here, they could have Woodfall Primus. Is Blood Moon in this format? Or Back to Basics? Because that would be hilarious. I mean, just look at the difference in the amount of text between my lands and my opponent's lands. Actually, I find this quite an interesting point from a design perspective. My favourite phrase. I think the amount of land that you choose to include in a cube is quite important. I think too much land can have an adverse effect where people just pick lots of them. I mean, it's just occurred to me that my opponent is playing Elspeth Tyrell in their rug deck. Assemble the Legion. You know that red-white tokens archetype I mentioned? There it is. Yep, this is going to get really annoying. I'm glad we bought it in that Crux of Fate, though. I'm not really sure how we beat this. I guess Griselbrand is the answer to that. Let's just hope we draw enough lands. Do I get to play Magic yet? Woohoo! Okay. Okay, I think we attack Elspeth with both. Gravecrawler will trade for a soldier. Then we play Grey Merchant and bring the Crawler back. Yeah, I think that's the simplest way to do it. These tokens have haste, don't they? Oh, God, that card is disgusting. Okay. I sometimes find myself playing really strangely on Magic Online. Like, in real life, I would sort of go, yeah, I'll give my Cloud Goat Ranger flying and attack your Elspeth. Whereas here it's like, oh, I clicked past my main phase. Okay, I'll, oh, I didn't think of that. Opponent just chumping with birds. Oh, he minus Elspeth anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Still a bit unnerving. Yeah, let's get Gary out there. Hopefully we'll draw something to recur Grey Merchant with, because that's another way we can win the game. And yeah, let's get the Crawler out. Well, we still have a zombie. I think the life gain on both sides of this game is going to be relevant. This is essentially a race between this horrendous thing and our horrendous things. I mean, I guess maybe we should just go face with Cloud Goat Ranger. Although Elspeth gains life, so probably not actually. No, we can't outrace an Elspeth at this rate. What am I talking about? Yep. I really hope he doesn't remove this, because we need to get rid of this. Otherwise we're never winning this game. Gilded Lure, okay, sure. Our opponent for sure has mana. Alright, no attacks. That's good times. Rotting Rats, discarding nothing. That's very sad. This didn't attack. That's very interesting. Okay. Elspeth, our opponent. I almost pressed F2 again there. That would have been really bad. I would have been so upset. Okay. Elspeth is gone. Good times. Crawler comes back. Do I just start machine gunning the tokens rather than playing Bloodghast? I mean, Bloodghast is obviously good if I draw lands. I can play Rotting Rats and discard it, I guess. Maybe that's better. Might snipe our opponent's card. And we can still Gravecrawler once here. Although our opponent is probably just holding a... Did they play a land last turn? Maybe they didn't. What have we got? Bloodghast. Oh yeah, it was a land. Oh well. Let's do this. And then recur him. Him? Her? It. Brains. Ooh, we still have Oust up. How incredibly useful. That's us done. We can sort of do this. If our opponent doesn't draw anything, and I guess if they draw creatures, we can blow them up with attrition. Because we now have 2 removal effects a turn. But I think we still kind of just die to assemble the Legion. I mean, that doesn't mean we don't do it if we draw... What is it? Oh, is this finally the Woodfall Primus? Oh, come on. I think we lose now. Unless the opponent misplays. Can we attack through all this stuff? To deal 2 damage to a Planeswalker? Because I think we have to, we can't. Ah! Why do they make these cards? Well, 1 more for Griselbrand. If we're going to win this game with anything, it's Griselbrand. Let's be honest. Hell yes. Okay, how do we do this? So we can remove 2 of these, and then we can attack everything at Garruk. That gets blocked. Well, the opponent can block everything, and Garruk goes to 1. That's kind of okay. Yeah, that's fine actually. That removes all the opponent's creatures for the time being. Yep. Can you imagine if the opponent was playing actual cards? Like, how rough would this be? Attrition is just so not a fair card. We can actually oust a token to make sure Garruk bites it. That's probably not worth it, because we can easily get through whatever it does next turn. So, let's hit the best button in Magic Online. Doop. No surprises there. Okay, I think our main out is land. Land and the opponent not having anything. Yep. That's not a massive problem. Why haven't I F6'd? Godless Shrine! Yes, I would. Let's put Griselbrand on the stack. Days. We can't really attack here. Certainly not once I've enthusiastically jammed Griselbrand and done nothing else. Oh well. Our opponent now gets a ton of soldiers. But we're also going to be on a ton of life, so I reckon if the opponent doesn't draw removal, we can probably race. If nothing else, we can draw a bunch of cards and try and... I don't think there are answers to this in the deck, but... There's a lot of tokens. Oh no! What is this? Oh, come on! I think I'm going to concede to that so that we still have time to play game 3. Right, we know what's going on here. Let's board in some more flyers. I'm keen on both of these. This might be actually better than Baneslayer because our opponent really didn't pressure us there. This might also be good because there's just really a lack of... Actually, Living Death's probably better than Crux of Fate here. Yeah, there seems to be actually a lack of things. Do we have ways of getting rid of any of those horrendous permanents to which we lost? It doesn't look like. Oh, rest was a flyer. We could cut Skin Render. It might not do that much. Let's play this. Actually, we can probably cut that Oust. We didn't end up casting Condemn last game. We definitely didn't cast Oust that game. Our opponent's only shown us one creature worth removing. So... yeah, let's go for more bombs. I mean, if we'd drawn a Divinity of Pride that game instead of the Oust, we probably won it. Just by threatening the bombs far more. Yeah, I find cubes like this are quite interesting because you do end up with these really big decks. I mean, our opponent is playing land, insane mythics, and little else. Yeah, let's be on the play. Animate Dead, Grizzlebrand, Recurring Nightmare, Eternal Dragon. We do get a turn 3 4/5 flyer here. If we draw Rotting Rats or something, we are so happy. We drew land. How about the... We're winning! Wait, our opponent is actually playing 5 colours. I knew that because they cast a black spell last game. Wow, they have basics? I'm so surprised. Whatever, I'll just do it now. Get Godless Shrine with this. Combo. Do we just not... Okay, do we make the 5/5 flyer, or do we him? I guess we can, like, Nightmare now, and him plus Animate Dead next turn. What does our opponent have that's 4 mana that we are really scared of? Well, I guess they do have the thingy. Huntmaster. You know what? I'm going to make a 5/5 flyer. I think if we're going to win this game, it's going to be through 5/5 flyers. Oh, is this getting dazed? No! Excellent. Doop. Basic mountain. Hey, we have a non-basic land this time. We can be cool too. But I have to say, speaking of cool, 1-drop cycle recurring nightmare, that's cool. It's so sad. Wall of Blossoms. There's a whole lot right here. I guess maybe our opponent's digging for land. Or answers. Ah, another basic. Plains, no less. Sure. That only increases the chances that we'll hit their best cards. Resto. Hello. That's a question. Do we him or do we flash in the angel at end of turn? So I don't think they have a way of casting a Planeswalker before we can untap. Even with Time Warp. Are there Moxen or Sol lands in this format? I assume not. Well, I'm thinking, let's do the obvious. I think we can sort of afford to wait on it. I hope I'm not wrong. We could him ourselves, but that's not going to work. We can't even cast him and animate dead in the same turn anyway. Alright. Hopefully our opponent will draw a removal spell and try and kill this, and then we'll be very happy. But more realistically, we might see a Time Warp or an Elspeth here. No Time Warp, that's good. High probability of Elspeth though. Oh, there's that guy. Sure, whatever. I am afraid no ghost. Go on, attack the spells guy. Go on. Well, we now have 8 power in the air, so let's see if this works. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll play land tax. That seems good. Land tax him. Land tax him. Pulls lose. Okay, thanks, bye. Would we get rid of Elspeth and a land? Okay, fine. That's better than nothing. But I'd much rather have caught Khan. Especially as we can't animate dead Elspeth. Well, we can't cast any of this stuff, so let's just pass. So much land. Okay, the opponent has to gain life this turn. Actually, yeah, it's a really good job we got rid of Elspeth, because now they can't gain life. That's fantastic for us. Do they have it? Whatever it would be. Oh, come on. I want to win. Getting really sick of this. I really hope that either they haven't drawn a 7-mana Planeswalker, or we took away the land that they could have used to cast it. Okay, that is no land and casting something. What's that gonna get? Do they have a... like an Arishing Cleric or something? Ah! Clever. This is not over. Come on, Grey Merchant. Always yield. Yup. Let's just get swamps. Attrition. Ha. Can we do anything with that? Not this turn. We don't have enough mana to animate dead, the carrion feeder, and then attrition it. We can certainly play the attrition. It also keeps the Huntmaster from flipping, and it allows us to respond to a Khan by doing something useful. Oh, I guess we couldn't kill the thing anyway because of Spellskite. Oh, if we can animate dead a Spellskite, that would be awesome though. Let's just see what happens here. Swing with everything, kill the birds. Hope the opponent doesn't draw land for their Khan. So we could, in theory, reanimate Steve here. It taps out the attrition, but it does allow us to get a land, which isn't actually very useful. No, that'll take away our land tax trigger. No, let's not do any of that. One time no Khan. Come on. My heart's going here. Abrupt decay. I guess that's fine. Sure. Do we win? Some more life gain. Faith. Oh, clever. Very clever. We can sack it to recurring nightmares, so it's not a huge problem, except that of course our opponent just gained a bunch of life again. This is starting to really annoy me. We're gonna die soon. Yeah. I think we need a discard outlet so we can get Griselbrand out. That'll dissuade all these pesky attackers. Yup. Living Death. That gives the opponent Bop and Steve, which is bad. Does kill all their stuff though. Just gives us a lowly carrion feeder, which is not useful. Okay, we have 6 mana to play with. So we can Recurring Nightmare, sacrificing this, and then get it back again. Which I think is the play. Might be possible to discard Griselbrand to hand size at end of turn. I think it is. Let's get the Carrion Feeder, sack this, and then just do it again. Target this, sacrifice that. I think we have to attack here. I'm not sure we can win if we don't. Maybe we can win next turn. Just worried about the opponent. Oh, if the opponent flips Huntmaster. No, we can't attack. We have to be able to block both the... no, I'm silly. Doesn't matter. We just discarded Griselbrand. That'll help. Do they have Khan yet? Go for it. Okay. We are... Do we just win? That is the question. Yeah. Okay, let's go to combat, and then if anything happens, we cast Living Death. I think is the play. Oh, fantastic. Oh boy, that was close. And that is the last match. No rest of the wicked. Alright, I'll be back in just under 2 minutes for round 2.